Hello everyone and welcome to our industry mapping report on the topic of journalism and broadcasting. In order to explore this vast subject, we have created this podcast/talk show where we have invited two creatives from the industry to help us explore. So let's get started.
And thank you so much for joining us today. So today we are here with Alessio, who is a second-year aviation management student and is also a professional who is working in the journalism industry. So thank you once again, and can you please introduce yourself, your field and projects?
Hi, thanks for inviting me. I'm Alessio, I'm 24 years old. Currently enrolled in aviation management course at Coventry University. I'm Italian journalist. I started as a local journalist, mainly following crime news. Now I'm entirely dedicated to aviation, and I write news about aviation, commercial aviation.
That sounds really interesting. Can you tell me how long have you been in the industry, and how long have you been maybe interested in it, and what was it like starting as a journalist? Did you face any challenges, and how did you overcome them?
I've been in the industry, in the communication industry, for more than 5 years now. I owe my passion for communication to two people: a primary school teacher with a strong power of word, and a war correspondent with an impressive dialectic, Tony Capozzo. What I call the law of word is still my guide, not a language encoded by tradition, but my personal language, my way of communication.
So can you tell me how can you as an individual become a part of this industry? We really wanted to know, so can you maybe share some tips?
So it happened to me by chance. I always had interest in writing. In 2016 I answered an announcement in a local newspaper, and I started my career in journalism. Today, it's a good question. It's really hard to break into journalism. From my perspective, the lesser evil is to specialize in a specific sector and entering the world of work with a generic title. The internet has changed the way of communicating. A video posted online by any user can reach millions of people, millions of you. For example, the work correspondent, one of my guides, has lost his role of communicator and has been replaced by the means each of us carries in his pocket: telephones. Furthermore, it's not enough to find the news. We need to find the news and change the point of view. Try to find another perspective with a good investigation.
Wow, that is some really good insights. So is that why you're currently studying aviation management? Because you're trying to, focus more about into aviation, right?
Yeah, my main project for the near future is to increase my knowledge in aviation in order to pursue a career in communication applied to the aviation industry. So it's really specific. It's a specific sector. That's why I suggested to specialize in a specific area.
So that really connects really well to one of the last questions. Like, what is the most recent project you've been embarked on?
My current project is Aviation Source, a small British company dedicated to commercial aviation. I write quite technical articles about aviation, and I'm moving forward towards another kind of profession, despite remaining in the communication field. My articles are quite technical. That's why I'm trying to become more aviation analyst than journalist, because my articles are very technical. So yeah, it's still communication, but another way of communication. Yeah.
So, like, one of your main tips for upcoming journalists then is to focus more towards what you're passionate about, right? So, if, for example, I would like to write about politics, you would recommend me like to maybe study politics later in life to like have more knowledge about these types of things, right?
There's more. I recommend you to study a specific area of politics, like international relations, for example, or politics in the United States or in Europe or in Africa. So basically a specific area of politics, not generic one.
So leading towards the last questions, do you have any tips for the upcoming journalists? Just some of the last touch-ups, anything you want to add for the people who are passionate about this field?
It's a very good question. Journalism, it's a very competitive industry, and communication industry as well, of course. My first advice is, of course, don't give up. And the second advice follows my main advice, so be specific. And the second advice is be constantly enrolled in a project. Never stay without anything to write, to do, to research. You should be always enrolled in a project, small or big, whatever.
So thank you so much for joining us today. It was really interesting and nice to talk with you and actually hear like tips from the person who's actually in this industry. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate the interview. So hopefully you find your perfect job in the communication industry.
Thank you.
To wrap it up, the team and I would like to thank you for joining us on this journey. Hopefully, we have been able to provide a clear summary on the journalism and broadcasting industry. Again, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye! We are in the shot. This one is.
Ooh,
This one is
yeah.
recording.